Ryan Reynolds says that he hasn't stepped foot on the set of Avengers Doomsday, which is hilarious because according to the internet, he's already shot 3 full movies, fought Robert Downey Jr. in the parking lot, and pitched a Deadpool musical for Phase 6. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. That's right, Ryan Reynolds himself says he's been writing Easter eggs at home in his pajamas. Not exactly the images of high-stake Marvel filming, unless Pinewood Studios recently relocated to his living room. So, is Deadpool actually missing from Marvel's biggest crossover yet?
I don't care.
Or is this just another Marvel magic trick? The rumor mill says that Reynolds was clashing with Robert Downey Jr. on set. The problem here is that People magazine says that the two have never even met for this project. Zero bad blood. None. Nada. Which means this Hollywood feud headline was about as real as Morbius 2.
Unsubstantiated fantasy! Lies! Lies! Lies!
Oh, and don't get me started about the cloak and dagger on the Marvel set. Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers are running this movie like it's the Manhattan Project. Reynolds denies that he's been on set, but Marvel has a long history of actors lying through their teeth at us. Remember Andrew Garfield swearing up and down that he wasn't in No Way Home? Yeah, fool me once. But here's where things get messy. Marvel isn't exactly at the top of its game right now. The days when they could churn out billion-dollar hits on autopilot are gone. Look at the Marvels, look at Ant-Man 3. Even Captain America Brave New World was dissected and reshot half a dozen times before gloriously bombing at the box office. The brand that once looked invincible now feels like it's running on fumes.
It stinks.
And what makes Avengers Doomsday different? Rumors are swirling that the script is still being written while cameras are rolling. So think about that. You got the supposed climax of the entire multiverse saga, and the story's being pieced together on the fly. At this point, it's less of a movie and more like improv night at a local comedy club.
Guess you're like a 24-hour convenience store. You never close.
That sounds like a Fat Albert joke.
Now, layer in the big one, the Robert Downey Jr. rumor. Reports have floated out there that RDJ himself, the golden child of the MCU, was threatening to walk if the script didn't shape up. If that's even halfway true, it's a nightmare scenario. Marvel brought him back as Dr. Doom to anchor this movie, and if he's already frustrated, well, that should show you just how shaky this foundation really is. So now we got the real question. Is Reynolds telling the truth, or is he just doing the Marvel shuffle, dancing around spoilers while Deadpool is secretly waiting to crash the third act? Let's talk about it today on Tooney Town TV. All right, guys, this comes to us again from thatparkplace.com, where you should be getting all of your daily news for all things movies and TV and video games and theme parks. Let's take a look here. Ryan Reynolds shuts down Avengers Doomsday rumors, has not, quote, stepped foot on set. So let's see what this is going to be about. So for weeks, speculation has been swirling about Ryan Reynolds and the production of Marvel's upcoming tentpole Avengers Doomsday. Whispers from fan blogs and gossip columns suggested that Reynolds' Deadpool would be front and center in the massive ensemble film. Now, some outlets went so far as to claim that Reynolds had already been spotted on set, even clashing with Robert Downey Jr. over creative direction. That was a big rumor that was flying around recently, where people were like, oh man, you know, like Robert Downey Jr. is having major, or there's two people having major issues, 2 stars, and everyone was like, it's Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds. And I right away was kind of like, that doesn't sound right to me. I don't know. But, you know, it very well could be. I mean, we're learning a lot about Ryan Reynolds and how he is behind the scenes through his wife's issues with Justin Baldoni. So, you know, it's possible. But according to Ryan Reynolds, he himself broke his silence, and true to form, he did so with humor. Speaking while promoting his new documentary, John Candy, I Like Me, at the Toronto International Film Festival, Reynolds flatly denied that he had been filming. With a smirk, he explained that he'd written a few John Candy Easter eggs that he'd love to sneak into Doomsday, but admitted that they remain written in my PJs at home. He said, of course I've written them all at home in my PJs, and no one's seen him, nor have I stepped foot on set. But yeah, that's about as far as I'll go on that one.
Disappointed!
So that line was then meant to put the rumors to rest, but in typical Marvel fashion, it may have only deepened the intrigue, because these Marvel leaks, guys, I mean, they come fast and furious, and a lot of them get proven right in the end, but, you know, you never know. I mean, like, there were those leaks and rumors that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were in Spider-Man. That turned out to be true. We'll get to it. So the rumored feud here, perhaps the biggest headline to emerge from the rumor mill, was the supposed clash between Reynolds and Robert Downey Jr. Reports had claimed that the two actors were at odds during production, fueling speculation that Deadpool's irreverent style would bump against Downey's return as Dr. Doom. Now, this also comes with rumors that RDJ was really unhappy with the script, demanded rewrites, or threatened to quit. I'm not saying that's real or not. It's a rumor. Believe it if you want to believe it. Don't believe it if you don't want to believe it. There's no way to know if it's real or not. But the rumor was they were bringing in the Deadpool and Wolverine crew to finish it out. Now, I know for a fact they brought in one of the Deadpool writers to plus the script, as Kevin Feige likes to say. But if you listen to other people that are on this production, they just claim the script's not done yet. They're still writing it, which Kevin Feige says they've never gone to production without a script.
This is a lie.
You know, even James Gunn, without saying it, said that was a bunch of bull crap. Because James Gunn said that the biggest problem in superhero movies is going to bat without a full script, and that's something that DC will never do. That was clearly a direct shot across the bow at Marvel, where, you know, obviously he's got some experience. So insiders have now shut down that talk completely. A source close to production told People magazine that there is zero bad blood between the stars. And in fact, they insisted the feud is entirely fabricated, and Reynolds and Downey Jr. haven't even met on set because Reynolds hasn't been there. So the official word on this is that Ryan Reynolds was not there.
I have never heard so many lies in my entire life other than when I was saying them.
The gall that they had with like Andrew Garfield. Because remember, like set photos came out that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were on set for No Way Home. I mean, then there was that release of that one part of the trailer where Spider-Man was diving at like the Lizard and Electro and Sandman and them all at the same time, and then you just saw the Lizard get kicked by something that like wasn't there, and it was very clearly Tobey Maguire, and they digitally removed him, and Marvel was still like, no, we're not doing that. Like they stick to a lie, man, like you would not believe. It's another reminder that Marvel's secrecy creates fertile ground for gossip. Without official confirmation of casting details, speculation tends to run wild. Now, Marvel has cultivated an environment of uncertainty by design. Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers know that fans will dissect every Instagram post, paparazzi photo, and cryptic social media comment for hidden meaning. Reynolds himself now has leaned into this dynamic, dropping teases like a doctored Avengers logo earlier this year that sent fans scrambling for clues. That strategy helps Marvel in the headlines, but it also generates confusion. Outlets as reputable, I put that in quotes because it's Deadline in the Hollywood Reporter, but what I meant by reputable here is that, you know, they get their marching orders from the studios. They have written conflicting reports. One says Reynolds is confirmed, and the other insists that he hasn't been on location, and still others hedge their bets with vague language about possible involvement. So let's take a look at Marvel's long history here. Spider-Man No Way Home, both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire denied their involvement for months, only for fans to erupt when they appeared in the final cut. I mean, look, that was great to keep that a secret. It was awesome. Avengers Infinity War trailers featured digitally altered shots to conceal plot points, including hiding the fact that the Hulk never actually fought in the climactic battle. That was 100% a thing that they did in that trailer, which made a lot of people mad. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Patrick Stewart denied that he was in it as Professor X, even after his voice appeared in the trailer. Now, with that history, Reynolds' denial could mean anything. On the surface, he might not have filmed yet, which, you know, they've been filming this movie for 5 months now. I don't know how long movies usually film for. I don't think it's this long. But if he hasn't even filmed yet and he's supposed to, that's a problem. So it's also possible that he's not in the movie, but then they're going to rewrite the script again and put him in it. So Marvel is more than willing to let actors lie or at least dance around the truth in order to protect spoilers. I mean, they have, even in terms of Captain America Brave New World, they cut entire performers out of the movie, like Seth Rollins, and brought in Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder, who was not in the original cut of the script. Of course, Marvel thrives on mystery, and Reynolds is more than capable of playing along. Whether he's keeping secrets or generally on the sidelines, the speculation around Avengers Doomsday isn't slowing down anytime soon. Guys, you gotta think, after Deadpool and Wolverine made that much money, that Deadpool and Wolverine will be in this movie. I would assume Deadpool and Wolverine. I would assume Mark Ruffalo. I would assume Tom Holland. You know, the sky's the limit, really. I mean, again, this movie is going to cost $1 quadrillion to make. It will have to make like $8 quadrillion in order to actually succeed. But that being neither here nor there, Deadpool is, I mean, one of their marquee characters now. They remember they took She-Hulk out of the out of the Marvel banner on Disney Plus and replaced her with Deadpool because he's a popular character and she is not. And we're also hearing that She-Hulk is in Doomsday. So if She-Hulk is in it and Deadpool's not, that's a problem. But you know, we're hearing reports that, like, you know, Spider-Man and Wolverine are going to have some stuff where they work together, which I'm all for that because I always love whenever Spider-Man and Wolverine are together in the comics. It's a great dynamic, and I think Hugh Jackman and Tom Holland will do an amazing job at it. But the question is whether or not Ryan Reynolds is actually going to be on set. I don't believe the thing about him and Downey Jr. button heads for a second. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't think that anyone is stepping to Robert Downey Jr. on that set, and I think that they know, no matter how big they are, that's a step too far with the Marvel brass because he is the golden child, and you know, he's being paid a lot of money to be there, and they are kind of wrapping their hopes up on him being the one to come in there and save this whole shebang. But can it be saved? That's the thing. Whether Deadpool is in this movie or not, is it going to make money? I honestly think it's going to grossly underperform. I don't think it's going to make nearly as much as an Endgame or Infinity War. You might be looking at numbers similar to Avengers Age of Ultron. That one made about $1.4 billion worldwide, which honestly would be massive for Marvel right now. I don't even know if it's going to do that much. I don't know if it's going to break $1 billion. I don't know if anyone is interested. Now, Robert Downey Jr., I believe he is a legitimate draw for them. I think a lot of people are going to see that, oh, Tony Stark, let's go. Whether he's Doom or whether he's not, let's go. It's Tony Stark. It's Marvel. Restore the feeling, blah, blah, blah. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. But I don't know if they're going to show up in it because, you know, like, Marvel fans feel slighted. They feel jilted. They have been lied to and bait and switched far, far too many times. So the question now is, you know, do you still believe that Marvel could turn it around? I personally don't. But I want to know what you guys think. Is Ryan Reynolds lying? Is he actually in this? Did he actually have a fight on the set with Robert Downey Jr.? Sound off in the comment section below and let me know. All right, so let's recap here. Ryan Reynolds says no, the internet says yes, and Marvel says nothing. So business as usual.
Oh, I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
If Deadpool isn't in Avengers Doomsday, Marvel might be missing out on a golden opportunity. Deadpool and Wolverine was their biggest hit in years, so why sideline the one character fans are actually excited to see while keeping Pedro Pascal and Simu Liu on the payroll? On the other hand, if he's being saved for Secret Wars, that could be the ultimate fan payoff. Either way, it's the same Marvel playbook. Deny, deflect, and let the internet do the marketing for free. And let's be honest, this tactic has worked for them before. Andrew Garfield swore he wasn't in No Way Home and fans still showed up in droves. Patrick Stewart pretended that we all didn't hear his voice in the Doctor Strange 2 trailer, and everyone still lost their minds when he rolled in with the Professor X hover chair. Marvel lies, fans speculate, and Disney laughs all the way to the bank. Or, well, you know, at least they did when these movies made money. But here's what I want to know. If Reynolds hasn't been on set, who exactly is writing all these rumors about him clashing with Robert Downey Jr.? Because whoever it is, they're working harder than the actual Marvel scriptwriters. At this point, maybe Marvel should just hire the leakers because clearly they're producing more content than half the writer's room. Thanks for joining us today, and a special thanks goes out to our Tooney Town TV channel members. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel, and for that, we thank you with exclusive content like Crime and Punishment, our true crime podcast hosted by myself and Trish, and our members-only live stream on Mondays at 3 p.m. EST. So if you are not a member of the Tooney Town TV channel, join today. Oh, and make sure you're joining us Thursday nights live at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk TV, our live stream pop culture podcast where you can interact with me directly and make your voices heard as a part of the Tooney Town community. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!